you said about working with your employees, and that's something that I think was another area that separates your work, because you'd written a piece on employee empowerment for Equipment Leasing and Financing magazine. Organizations, when it comes to the idea of employee empowerment, they're approaching it now as though it's a new idea, whereas you've been working on this concept and working with it in your organizations for 30 years.
Yes.
I want to know about the structure of an organization. How do you build that structure to deliver the best for your customers, but through your employees?
Yes. I think you have to start with certain basic beliefs. And one belief that I think is very, very important is that I do firmly believe that people come to work every day and want to do a good job. And I also firmly believe that in a company the size of HP Financial Services, which is somewhat sizable, it's very important to try to figure out a way to make a big company small, because people can get lost. So what we do is we organize folks in work teams, and these are real teams. That's not a cliche for us, it's a real team. And they're small and manageable numbers of people in those teams, 12 to 18 people, led by somebody who's local and in place with them. The teams know what their responsibilities are for team objectives, and it's their decision to decide how to allocate resources, how to prioritize in order to achieve those goals. And then we compensate them as a team. So Benjamin Franklin said, we must hang together or surely we shall hang separately. We believe the team performance is the same. And we do everything we can to engender that sense of interdependency among the members of the team. And at the same time, that team has a customer base. It's their responsibility to take care of that customer base, to be close enough to that customer base, to understand what the customer wants and needs, and to provide the right kind of response. I can't do that. We have 50,000 customers around the world. No way I can make all the decisions. The people closest to the customer really should be the ones that make the best decisions, and do. Finally, when you talk about making a big company small, we do everything we can to try to stimulate this feeling of ownership. Because if you are owner of a business, you act differently than if you're just somebody who punches a clock every day. If you're an owner of a business, you give it your time, you give it your effort, you give it your thought, you give it your commitment. And so I always like to think that there's a contrast between someone who works on an assembly line where the engine block comes by and the person goes like that and then it goes on to the next station. You don't see the raw material at the beginning and you don't see the finished product at the end. How can you really own that? Whereas our people understand that the contribution they make every single day contributes to the success of the team and therefore to the success of the organization.
How much of that communication that comes directly from you versus every other level of the organization in terms of how much they know about the interconnectedness of everything?
I would hope it all comes throughout all levels of the organization. We have a communication methodology we call a communications cascade, and we expect everybody to deliver that cascade, everybody that's in a leadership role within the organization.